All right, we'll go to question number 7. And this is from Lee Duncan, who says, "Hey, Mike, how should I view the pain I feel for victims of the Holocaust, Nanking Massacre, etc., when these groups were mostly unelect vessels of wrath who will receive no comfort?" Lee, I do not, it sounds like you're coming from a Calvinist perspective, and so I may not be the best person to answer this for you, because the terminology you're using is very much how I would expect a Calvinist to put it. So you might want to look at it for a Calvinist to answer this question for you, to be better fit with your understanding of theology on issues that I would say are not, they're issues that I'm willing to disagree with Christians on and not fight about, right? I don't agree with them, but I wouldn't fight over it. So how should you view the pain you feel for victims of the Holocaust? Nanking Massacre, basically someone who's gone through some horrible thing and yet they were not saved. And you say that there's no comfort for them. I don't know the particulars, and this is something I think you should affirm too. We don't know the particulars of how they will stand in judgment. I'm not saying that they'll be saved apart from Christ. For anybody who has rejected Jesus Christ, they'll stand for that rejection, they'll deal with it. But there were also injustices done to those people, and those injustices are things God will deal with on Judgment Day as well. So to say there's zero comfort, I don't know if that's the truth. There's maybe a decision to reject ultimately God and reject Christ and reject eternity with God from that person, between them and the Lord, and that'll be dealt with. But what about between them and the offenders, the people who abused them and hurt them and wounded them and did all these things? It's not like that abuse means they now deserve heaven. I mean, we might feel that way, like if I suffered a lot on earth, then I deserve heaven, but that doesn't factor in your relationship with God at all. And I'm going to leave that to God to be the judge there. And I'm going to trust him with that. And that's a good encouragement for all of us, I think, is trusting that the just judge who knows all and is actually holy is going to make all the right choices, even if I don't understand them, which is understandable that you don't understand how God judges people that to you are literally just a tragedy story. You don't know them. You don't really understand them. They're just like, the problem with hypothetical people, even though they were real, but in your head, they're totally two-dimensional people. Just suffered, died. That's the whole story for them. The Lord knows their whole story. He knows all the opportunities they had to hear the gospel, whether they received or not. Maybe some of them you think are not saved were. But when it comes to their relationship with these other people who persecuted them, who were cruel to them, who did wrong to them, God is going to deal with them very specific. And I don't know that they would receive zero comfort for that. I don't know why I would assume that. They may think, somebody may think, honest, I'm just shooting straight with you guys. They may think, yes, I see that I sinned against God. I see that I rejected God, but I also see that the man who was far worse than me, who was cruel to me, who killed me and my family, he's suffering much more now. And they will see the justice of God in that, and there may in fact be some degree of comfort in that. They will see that God is just in the end, but they will stand before him on the merits of their own issues, not based upon what other people did. So your question though, you said, how should I view the pain I feel for victims of the Holocaust? I think it's entirely appropriate to feel pain for unsaved people who are suffering unjustly. I think God feels that pain. It's part of why his judgment comes down upon the earth. And they may yet deal with his judgment themselves because they reject Christ, but they're not judged as unworthy of protection from injustices that they experience because of that, right? God's going to deal with all of the people individually, which means punishing the wicked who persecuted other people who were also wicked on other measures, but didn't earn that from those people. Does that make sense? I hope my words make sense. Lee, you're asking a deeply emotional question, and my answer was more clarity and trying to analyze and put things in categories. So forgive me for not addressing that deeply emotional side of things. I acknowledge I've not fully addressed it. Don't pretend my answer is the full answer. The pain I feel for those people, in all honesty, I find overwhelming, and I don't know how to answer it. When I try to think of all the suffering that goes on in the world, it is far too much for my mind and my heart. I just honestly don't know how to handle it. All the drama, all the trauma, I don't even watch the news that much, right? And it's made my life better that I don't, because I cannot constantly try to hold in my heart or my head all of the hardships that go on around the world. But I hold in my heart the hope that God will eventually clear it all up, bring justice and goodness and comfort to those who receive him, at least, and some degree of comfort, it seems, even to those who reject him, at least that they see the justice of God brought upon the wicked. The problem is that they also have their sins to deal with. So yeah.